Hi, it's Will from stormthecastle.com, and this is part 4 of the fantasy wall diorama tutorial. And in this part, I've carved out all the styrofoam to make the various shapes within the subterranean layout that I have here. So this is the whole diorama, and if you've seen the other parts of the tutorial, you know what it is. It's a glass-encased, wall-mounted unit that I'm building a diorama in. And I'll go over some of the parts here. This is above ground. And there's the entrance into the underground subterranean area. I've got caves, a series of caves here. I've got a series of a labyrinth of corridors here. I've got an underground dragon's lair, where this is where the dragons are going to go. I've got an underground lake here. This is going to be an underground lake, a secret little cavern there, a little secret little cave. This section is where the underground castle is going to go. And that's pretty much the whole thing. I'm going to wire this up for lights. I'm going to have automation on it. There's a lot of different things. And I wanted to say that I used a lot of different tools to sculpt out all of this. This was, in the previous part you saw, this was a solid block of styrofoam. And I've carved it all out using the various tools. And I'll show you quickly some of those tools that I used and how I did it. A couple of things I wanted to show you here about if you do something like this is that you don't want to cut everything just straight in like this. It makes for... it's not as interesting to look at. So what I have here, as you can see, I have the various stone columns here that makes it interesting. I've got various parts that go inside, and I've cut angles and things. This is a cavern, a tunnel that goes through like this, and there's a lot of hidden little interior sections here, which makes it very interesting to look at. So this is part 4. It's going real well. I'll be doing part 5, the next part. I believe it'll probably be wiring it up for lights and automation. Because at this early stage of the game you have to wire it up. It gets difficult to wire it up later on once I start adding all the various terrain features. So that's the diorama and how it's going, and now I'll show you a few of the techniques that I use to cut out all the styrofoam. Okay, here are the various tools I use when cutting out the styrofoam for this diorama. And this, of course, these tools are great, and they can be used in any kind of styrofoam cutting when you're doing any kind of a diorama or any kind of terrain, or if you're doing Warhammer terrain or anything like that. This stuff really works really well. There's a hot wire foam cutter from Woodland Scenics. This thing is really nice. And then I use this, which is my favorite, the styro cutter. You can see it's like a pencil here, and this tip heats up, so you can use this to cut through styrofoam and you can sculpt with it. It's pretty nice. So that's the Styro Cutter Plus, actually. It's nice little tool. It heats up and it cuts gently through the styrofoam. The hot wire foam cutter here is really neat because I don't know if you can see the wire there, but these little knobs here can be moved up and down, so you can move the location of the cut. So what happens is you can actually run this like this and keep it on the ground and get a really neat cut across a piece of styrofoam like that, by adjusting the height of that. So that's really nice. I also used a variety of different types of cutting tools. Of course, I did some cutting and sculpting with utility knives and X-Acto knife. And this kind of knife is really neat. I like this kind of knife because you can get a really long blade on it and get some deep cuts with that. So these are the different tools I used, and all of these come in handy for any kind of styrofoam cutting that you're doing. And I'll show you how I sculpted some of it with this styro cutter. I'll show you some video of that.